Buenas tardes, good afternoon, buenos dias, good morning, depending when you're listening to us. But we are here at another episode of RevvED, Impacto Changemaker edition. So last spring we awarded in honor of we awarded 25 change makers in Kansas City in honor of Cesar Chavez, a longtime activist fighting for Latinos' rights. So 25 change makers were awarded in different areas: education, politics, healthcare. So we have been talking to these 25 individuals to see the change and the impact that they are making in our community. Today, I am joined by Rebeca Higueros. She's coming up. Yes. So today we'll get to know her, what she has been doing, what she's up to, and what she will do in the future now that she's looking to be a medical student. So, Rebeca, welcome. How are you?
Good. Muy bien. Gracias. Thank you for having me. So good to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
you.
So, how was your day?
It was it was hectic.
Mhm.
I worked in clinic today, so we saw a lot of patients, and it's busy. Healthcare is never
Mhm.
boring. I don't think anybody can get tired of it. So, but other
Mhm.
other than that, it was good. Thank you for asking.
Good. Well, I have a question about Hispanic Heritage Month, but before we get there, let's get to know you a little bit. I know you a little bit. Our community might not know you, or they know you, but we will get to know you more. So tell us who you are and what are some of the things that you do if you wear different hats, like a student, professional. So yeah, tell us. Let's get to know you a little bit.
Okay. Pues I think I do wear a lot of hats just like everyone else. Most recently, I am a recent biomedical science graduate from KCU. So glad that chapter is over with. I recently accepted a position at Clínica Médica. It's a local small clinic in Wyandotte, Kansas. I'm super excited to talk about that. Um, I, I mean, I'm also a proud daughter of Guatemalan immigrants. I think I wear that hat a lot, and I'm very proud of it. I'm recently married. Well, we're rolling up on a year, so I don't think if it's recent anymore, but to me it is.
Yeah.
Um, and we are parents to two pit bulls. Their names are Thor y Chapel.
Mhm.
Um, and then last but not least, I would like to think that, I'm a huge community advocate, especially when it comes to health matters. And, hopefully in the next couple years can become one of the physicians in Kansas City. So, yes.
Mhm. I uh I was laughing because I just got done today being with the vet. Dogs are expensive, and you got two of them. Today I had
Yeah.
to go to the vet. He had an ear infection. Dang, it was like $300 later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. They are very expensive. Las vacunas
las
son
vacunas. Hmm.
so yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. But he's all better.
Yeah.
Okay, so from Guatemala, we're a college student looking to be a college student doing clinicals, 1 year married. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. I can't even believe it. I don't. Sometimes I wake up some days and I'm like, how do we all just wear multiple hats and do it so seamlessness? Like I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go. Well, there's some questions about your school, so I wanted to jump back to your experience in school. We are education advocacy organization, so we are interested just to learn from your experience as a student and also in education. What can you tell us? How was your experience with that?
You know what? It's so interesting that you asked that because I was thinking about how many years I've been in school and how different each chapter has been. Um, but starting in primary school, I went back and forth from Guatemala to Kansas City many years, and so I went to Foreign Language Academy here in Kansas City, and I was in the Spanish immersion class. And what that meant was that some of your core classes were in Spanish. And so I remember I had a teacher from El Peru, and she was my science teacher, and she was one of the first people that introduced what the science world was, and what, a hypothesis was. And I was just so excited when she explained it to me. And she taught me all of this in Spanish. And so primary school was very bilingual, heavily Spanish dense. And then I got to high school, and it was a complete, like, night and day. No core classes were in Spanish. It was different, and it was actually adjustment, because I had been at FLA from like first or kindergarten, first grade, all the way up to eighth grade. So high school was very different, kind of like a culture clash. And then I went off to college, and in my undergrad experience, it was also a culture clash. I think, when I say different chapters, you walk into a class, and you're like, I remember my first biology class. I was maybe one or two Latinas within a 500 student class. You know what I'm saying? So those things are like eye openers. And so, I think it was very culturally rich at the very beginning, but needless to say, as you get higher in higher ed, you start looking a little slim. You don't see people that look like you, nor talk like you, nor got the same accent as you. So, especially, if we even talk about medicine, I think the stat is probably only 5% of Latino. There's only 5% of physicians that are Latino in the United States. 5%,
Right.
Ivan. Can
Mhm.
you believe that?
Yeah, yeah. I think that speaks to the importance of why representation matters everywhere, not just in education, but also in the healthcare field. We need more
Yes,
people. Yeah.
yes, 100%, 100%.
No, last week I was talking to Clara. She's in pharmacy, and she was also speaking to the importance of having bilingual people in pharmacy, bilingual people that can talk to our parents, to our people in their native language, because it's dangerous when you have a son or a daughter translating for your parents, especially in healthcare when it's a matter of life and death.
Yes, yes, yes. I could talk about that all day, but we're in 2022, and there are a lot of little kids that still interpret in medical offices,
Mhm.
which is very dangerous.
Yeah, yeah. I, I also did it myself, and I still do it now. At 30 some years old, I still translate for my parents, and I'm talking about why it's important. But yeah, because we need more people in healthcare.
Yes,
Um,
I 100%, 1,000% agree.
mhm. You were lucky, so you went to a dual language school.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I think it was. I think it's still going. So
Mhm.
it's in the Kansas City school district, public school district, and it's definitely. I think there's even like wait lists now to get into a school like that. So yeah, my parents. Beyond me, I don't think I really understood the importance of it when I was a little kid. But to my parents, it meant the world to go to parent teacher conferences, and los maestros les podían hablar en español. And they could understand what their kid was learning, and they could understand if their kid was being bad, aka
Yeah.
me.
So you were a bad kid.
I was a social kid.
Yeah. Well, this is a good time to bring this up. There's a comment by one of your sisters. I think earlier you talked about Wyandotte, how you're working in Wyandotte, Jessica
Yes.
Woodson. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, that's my sorority sister. She is definitely a proud Wyandotte native. And a little background about that: I had never all my experience, I guess, like healthcare experience, was always on the Missouri side. And I was telling her, like, one day I'm gonna work in Wyandotte. I had an interest in it. There's so many Latinos in Wyandotte, and so I recently just stepped foot on her ground. So I think
Mm-hmm.
it's super. different, and we're forever learners. So I'm grateful to be in her area.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
for the show.
Well, I want to bring up this because she's also you. You were talking about college, how that experience was different, but you also did something amazing for future generations at UMKC, and it's still going. How was that? And was it hard? What were yeah? Tell me about it because when I was there at UMKC, a lot of people wanted to be part of that, the only multicultural sorority on campus.
Yes, you are so right. Jesus, it's been so many years, and I think I still get the same excitement from when we even started this. So I stepped foot at UMKC back in 2012, and there wasn't a lot of diversity. I walked in with this mindset, like I came from a very diverse background. Um, and I was so shocked that there wasn't a student organization available for multicultural women. So, anyways, I ended up doing my research, and I was like, how dope would it be to start the first historically Latina based multicultural sorority at UMKC? And I happened to like bump into Sigma Lambda Gamma online, and I loved their mission. I love that they were all about bringing women from all cultural backgrounds together and finding similarities in them. And so I started recruiting. I was just like, I would bump into people from all backgrounds and just be like, "Hey, have you thought about starting a multicultural sorority here on campus?" And literally, some of the people that are commenting, they know that this is true. I mean, I remember I met one of our current sisters in the elevator, and I was just like, "Girl, you sound just like me. Are you from Kansas City?" She like, "Yeah, I'm from Kansas City," and we just like hit it off the bat right there. We didn't know what we were doing or what it was gonna turn into, but we did know that we wanted first generation students to find a home here. We wanted all kinds of women to like find a home at UMKC because it's hard to be in a place where you don't feel like you fit in. It's hard to Jesus break so many barriers to even get to higher education. So like it was super important to us just have fun and have a support system. So shout out to my SOG sisters. I mean it grew into something more beautiful than I thought
Mhm.
I could ever imagine, and it's still going on. And I mean, it's crazy. I cannot even believe that this happened 2012. We're in 2022. We actually started 2014. So look at that.
Yeah, almost 10 years. Look, here's like Susana, our deputy director in Gamacom.
Gamma call, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so you got some of your sisters here watching. No, that's amazing to be able to create something that will benefit future generations. So, yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you for asking. You know what I mean? I think these questions are so loaded, and there's like so many like super important parts of one's life, and you're like, man, where do I even start? Where do I even
Mhm.
begin to tell you
There's a lot.
uh,
Yeah.
who I am and where I'm trying to be? Yeah.
Well, tell me about one of in your experience, what are some of the issues and needs you see in our communities?
Yes. You know what? I guess I could speak upon health, right? I think one of the main things, there's so many things, areas of growth, I would say. But one of the things that stands out are language barriers in healthcare. We have done some progress. There are some interpreting systems in place. However, when you don't have representation in healthcare, um, and a language barrier exists, we know for a fact that we're going to have negative health outcomes. We're not going to have the best health outcomes. I cannot begin to tell you like a mom's face when she asks you, ¿hablas español? And
Mm.
you're like, sí, señora, sí hablo español.
And their
And her
eyes light up. Yeah.
life, yes, her whole life changes. Her
Mhm.
whole like demeanor changes. Let's begin with like going to a doctor's office. It's really scary. It's scary. I mean, nobody wants to be in a doctor's office. If you are, you're probably sick, right?
Mhm.
But then you meet somebody that feels you, that speaks the same language as you, and that are culturally competent to serve you. I think that's a game changer. And I think that's one of the barriers that we face right now is that we don't have representation in healthcare uh, for minorities here. I mean, we just don't. And, you know, I think that that trust component between a healthcare provider and a patient is so important because if I know you better and if I can bridge that gap with you better, if you can trust me, we can trust each other, then we're going to hope for better outcomes, right? And that applies to education, that applies to healthcare, and so many outlets in Kansas City. So I would say language barrier is one of them. Number two, if we got time, I would say accessibility and affordability. Because estamos en el 2022, and if you are broke, if you are uninsured, and if you don't have a social security number, you can't see a specialist like a cardiologist, a pulmonologist. You can't see specialty care here in Kansas City. And it's the same in Latino America, in our global health community, it's the same thing. Specialty care is so difficult to access and it's so expensive. Even people with insurance, we know that you get that copay, you get the remainder of the bill, and you about have a heart attack because it's expensive.
Yeah.
um so needless to say, we need physicians and nurses and ancillary care of color to be in those positions where you can be like, you know what, let's start a free clinic on a Saturday once a month for orthopedics or for these crazy nitbit specialties that exist today. Let's start that. Let's work together, and let's serve the community, and people like that. All these needs that we have. Like it's so many, so many. So I don't know if that answers your question.
No, yeah, yeah. This is why the RevvED series, the Impacto series, uh, I appreciate them because we get to see the different impact that people are doing in the community, and then we get to know how we can collaborate and work with each other. Because the reality is, we need representation in all different areas, but it's better if we do it together. Juntos hacemos la fuerza. So, thank you for
Claro que
sharing your experience in healthcare. Um, what would you say to those that are wanting to be engaged, either in healthcare, in the community, or starting their own organizations, but sometimes they hesitate? Uh, yeah, what would you say to those that want to engage and become a strong voice in their communities?
yeah. You know what? I I think I would have to say two things. And one thing I've been saying for forever, and the second thing I'm about to say is like as you get into your field and you get up there, you start bumping into this problem. So I would say like number one, I would say like authenticity is so important.
Mhm.
Um Being proud of where you come from, being proud of where your parents come from, being proud to wear them hoops, to be proud of the neighborhood that you live in, being proud of, having that accent, to speak that slang, to speak whatever you speak. Being truthful in your story touches so many people, and we hesitate, like you said. We hesitate because, oh, el que dirán,
Yeah.
what 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 are they going to say? But little do we know that we're about to change so many lives by just sharing our truth. And I think sometimes we get bottled up in our struggles and all this stuff when in reality, I mean, we just can relate to so many people, so many people. So I think just stepping in your truth and being authentic to the core, I think like it's always it's a journey, right? But just being proud of where you come from, I think helps that hesitation, right? And then I would say the second thing, you know, I think is just sticking to your guns and sticking to your why. Reminding yourself why you became a teacher, why you became a physician, why you became a pharmacist, um, is so important, because the system is going to put a pretty bow on progress, right? But it's not enough progress, right? And we know that. And the I think the system will try to put makeup around issues that have been prevalent for a very, very long time, and may try to like ease you into thinking that things are better when things can be so much better. And so if you were continue to remember your why and sticking to your guns, we can serve better, we can help our own people better, and just give the community what they deserve, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. No, like you said, it is a journey. And I like it that you said to be authentic. That's one of our values in the LEC, for the LEC. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. And going along with the authenticity, being proud of your roots, let me jump to how are you celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month?
Hey, it's our month.
Yes,
Mañana es
it
San
is.
de Guatemala. It's so funny. My family is so culturally rich. We're so proud to be Chapines. We're so proud to be Guatemalan. It's ridiculous. But even today, my family began sending me these the like a jiffy or giphy, however you say it, these giffies of the Guatemalan flag,
Yeah.
on WhatsApp, and they're like, get ready, get ready, get ready, and I think the celebration within your own family just brings so much warmth to my heart, because it's who I am inside and out. So I think I'm gonna start celebrating by just rejoicing with my family, and thanking my parents for instilling such values, within myself and my brother, and everything that we touch. But I actually started celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month yesterday. I helped one of my sorority sisters decorate. She's a counselor, soon to be
Yeah.
counselor, and she's putting up like a wall of Hispanic Heritage Month. So I helped her yesterday to go set it up. And there's just so many interesting facts about Latino America. We're so unique. Latinos are so unique, and I tell this to a lot of people all the time. You just can't put us in a box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or yeah, we're so much more than just tacos and food. Like our culture is so rich, and yeah, this is our month to highlight that and to tell everybody how cool we are. Yeah, we're dope.
Yes, yes, I agree. I agree. Y
Let me.
las
Huh?
mejores fiestas del año.
Yes. So let me read you some. I don't know if you ever read it or heard it, but you were nominated. You won the award. This is what your nominator said, and then I want to get your reaction after that, and what does it mean to you to have been awarded this? But Rebecca is a first generation American. Her family is from Guatemala. She's a she's the first in her family to pursue college and the first in our neighborhood to pursue medicine as a career. Rebecca hopes to give back to our neighborhood in her home country through her medicine degree. She is so committed to her career that when it came time to apply and pay for application fees for schools across country, she didn't let the financial barriers stop her. Our group of sisters got together and held a bake sale to fundraise for application fees. She also sees that the need and the value for people of color in medicine. So she has helped establish a Latinx affinity group for medical students at KCUMB. Nice. These are just a few of the many stories I could tell you about why Rebecca deserves this award. And then she also says she and I helped found the first multicultural sorority on the UMKC campus.
Yes, yes, yes. That's so sweet. So, so sweet. Thank you to whoever wrote that.
Oh, you don't know who did it? Oh, okay.
No, you don't have to tell me after.
Okay. No, I can tell you now. I think oh, there, it was Susana. And then she's still here. She says, Mr. Counselor Cat.
Nuestra counselor cat. Yes, yes, yes.
We do need more counselors of color, more people in mental health than the health field. So yeah, kudos.
100%. Thank you, Sana. Yes, and I agree. I mean, we just need to spread color in every field.
Mhm.
In every field.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We're doing the work.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell me, what does it mean to be an impacted change maker, and why is it
Um,
important to recognize each other?
you know what? I think it's so rewarding to be heard, right? It's so rewarding to be seen. It's so rewarding to be appreciated. Everyone who independientemente if you're in healthcare, right? Everyone who's in the field of serving knows that it can be hard, right? Everyone that's in the field of giving back to the community knows that it can be draining, you know what I mean? And you can get burnt out, especially if you're the only person of color doing the work that you do, right? So it feels good, of course. I think um this field is very demanding, and so we need love too, right? We need that motivation, and we need those reminders to why we started this to begin with. So I feel super grateful to I'm sure there's a lot of candidates, and there's a lot of Latinos doing amazing work in Kansas City and elsewhere. So thank you. It feels really good.
Yeah, no. Well, I think we're near the end, but let me remind you and everybody that we are doing a voter engagement event this coming Monday. And with that, are you registered to vote?
I am.
Okay, good, 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 good. I was hoping you say yes, but if you aren't, if anybody out there isn't, come on over to our offices and then we'll help you get registered. Yeah. So, any last words? Any thoughts that you have before we go?
Well, I mean, muchas gracias. Thank you for having me. Y'all, if there's anyone, if there's kids, grown adults, anyone that is looking into being in any type of subset in healthcare, send them my way. I would love to talk about my experience at KCU. I would love to talk about healthcare in general, and there's just a huge gamut of healthcare needs and so many things that we can do. So yeah, so send them my way, and thanks y'all for listening to me.
Thank you. Let me end it with the comment that Susana made. Thank you for being with us, community. We'll catch you next time. Make sure you go to our YouTube and check out the other interviews of our Impacto Change Makers. But yeah, I'll talk to you later.
Ciao.